Hello guys, Charlie Sparks here. Welcome to a new YouTube video. It's been a while, but thank you. So let's get into the next video. What is this video about? Well, it's my wishes for the next iPhone. With the iPhone 12 sort of coming to the end of its lifetime, and with the 12s or potentially 13, leaks have been coming out throughout the year, thought I would consolidate a lot of them, bring my opinions to them, and what I want Apple to do with the next iPhone. So here we go. To begin with, the display. The front of the iPhone, the most prominent, the only way you interact with the device. So I think a lot of effort and a lot of pizzazz, a lot of the price should be put into the screen. And so, which is why I was very happy that the entire iPhone lineup suddenly became OLED. So last year, if you didn't know, the iPhone 12 mini, iPhone 12 and the Pro series are both, they're all four of them are OLED, which is the first in an iPhone, first in Apple's lineup where all of the phones have been OLED. But Samsung's, Androids has been this way for years, so it's good that Apple finally caught up and gone to the superior mobile display technology. It's a very good panel, 2:1 contrast ratio. It's got small borders. Face ID is still there. But what do I want next for the next display? What do I want from the next iPhone? The iPhone 12s, iPhone 13 next year maybe, iPhone 14. What do I want these phones to do? Standard, beginning with the iPhone 12s, so the next phone, I want to have a 120Hz display. The same as the iPad. Dubbed ProMotion, this is what Apple calls it, and it's already debuted in the iPad Pros, so I want that to be in the iPhone. But I want it to be a different sort of panel. I want it to be LTPO. So what this means is, as the Apple Watch Series 5 and 6, they can scale their refresh rate of their screen all the way down to 1 Hz. What this means is, it means that you can have an always-on display. Always-on displays have been a thing since Android even first came out, probably. I don't know. Everywhere you see OLED's good enough because it means it can turn off the rest of the display and only have the white bit for the screen on. But what that means with 1 Hz is, it means that you could do that and only refresh itself once every second instead of 120 times every second or 60 every second as it does now. So the iPhone does not have a variable refresh rate, which I don't like and is very terrible for battery life, because a lot of the time if you're just going through a web article, you're just scrolling, 120Hz is good, but do you really need it? And especially on a device like the iPhone 12, they're very thin. 5G just came in, they made the battery smaller from the 11 series. So, with the iPhone 12, they picked 5G over 120Hz. I don't agree with that decision, but 120Hz should be in the next iPhone. A 120Hz LTPO display. That's my display wishes. Now for the battery life. Battery life's it's also a key component for your phone. It's without a good battery, like the iPhone 12 mini, you tend to not use your device. You tend to always want to carry a charger with you. It's peace of mind. When you have a big battery on your phone, it's peace of mind. You don't have to always worry about it. Which is why I was very disappointed with the iPhone 12's battery life. Compared to the iPhone 11s and my 10R before that, my battery life was extremely good on my iPhone 10R. Whereas going for my iPhone 12, I have seen a hit. But that's not only because I use 5G on it, but that's also because of the more power hungry A14, the stuff I do on it, the display as well. It's a very thin, and the smaller battery doesn't help either. So I want Apple to basically put a bigger battery in the phone. I don't understand why phones are getting so thin. I really don't understand it. I don't mind a thicker, heavier phone if it means my battery life lasts 4 to 5 hours longer. I think that's a trade-off a lot of the common consumer is going to accept and going to be, you know what, cool. Small phones, they're fine, but I'd rather a battery life that lasts 2 days, 2-3 days. Imagine an iPhone or any phone that is as fast and as powerful as the iPhone 12 to have 2-3 day battery life. It's insane. I don't care about the thickness of my phone. Heaviness and comfort, yes, I understand that. But to have a heavier phone and potentially even just 5mm thicker, I don't see a problem with it. I really don't. Longer battery life, bigger batteries, is essential for the entire market at this point. If you're a gamer, you want more batteries. If you're, you know, a social media scroller all the time, you want longer battery life. Every single person wants a longer battery life. So Apple, listen, better batteries in the next iPhone, please. Next, storage. I think it's ridiculous how the iPhones come standard with 64 gigabytes. I don't like that. It's like, as I mentioned in my Apple TV video, 32 gigabytes or 64, it just isn't a big, it's not big enough on a phone nowadays. And especially with Apple never actually allowing you to have external storage, I've never liked that. Samsung, for example, you know, before the S21, allowed you to put micro SD cards to expand your storage, which was it's an amazing lifesaver. You wouldn't bother, you know, increasing the size of your storage on the configurator on the website if you could just buy a 256 gigabyte micro SD and just stick it in. It doesn't matter. But with Apple, they've never done that, and they want you to buy their cloud platform service, which I'm a subscriber, as I've mentioned in my previous videos. I'm a subscriber to Apple One, which means I get 2 terabytes of iCloud, which is good for making these videos, and also just very handy to keep photos, videos, and because 4K video, 4K 30 FPS Dolby Vision takes up a lot of memory. So, you know, if you're a videographer, you should realistically be buying an iPhone with 128, 256, 512 gigabytes of storage, but they're just incredibly expensive. So either Apple have to standard make all the devices with 128, so I mean the iPhone 12 mini and the iPhone 12, or the iPhone 12s mini and the iPhone 12s. These phones should come standard with 128 gigabytes, the same way the Pros do. But the Pros should be doubled, it should be 256 gigabytes. So I think we should double the storage, double the storage of the iPhones that they come with now, but keep the price the same. Lastly is performance and features. I eventually wish for the iPhone to have a dumbed down M1 chip. So hear me out. That's basically what the A14 is right now. The A14 and the M1, they're in the same family. They're made from the same architecture, basically. You know, M1 chips 5nm, A14 5nm. They are basically the same. But I don't feel that. I don't feel we get the benefits of the M1 chip on the iPhone. I think we need to have a more power efficient core. Something that can ramp itself up incredibly quickly, and at the heart of it is very power efficient, which is what I think the M1 chip is. The M1 chip is incredibly efficient. You know, I've charged my laptop 6 times since I've owned it, and it's if I open it now, it will still be on 60% from the last time I charged it. It will probably only go down 5%. Has incredible standby time. My iPhone doesn't. I feel like either my iPhone is doing a lot in the background, or there needs to be some sort of features to limit battery like usage from apps and stuff like that. Overall, I generally don't think the A14 chip is the direction I would want the next iPhone to go. I think iPhones are fast enough now. Phones are fast enough. I think we should focus on more power efficient cores instead of high performance cores. No one edits on their phones. You know, no one's doing any potential high power usage tasks on their phones. It's good, don't get me wrong, you know, it's good that Instagram can load 0.2 seconds faster, but do you really need that? And this goes back to the battery life argument. With a more efficient CPU, instead of powerful, I wouldn't mind if the phone didn't get more powerful. This goes on to my next argument, where I wish there to be 2 kinds of CPU in the iPhones. So I don't, and this would benefit Apple really. I don't understand why the iPhone 12 Pros don't have a beefier CPU. I don't quite understand it. You know, if you ever look at the iPad lineup, the iPad lineup is a beautiful example of the way Pro devices should be. You know, you have a look at the budget iPad. You know, you don't have the Face ID, you don't have any of this stuff. Touch ID, very simple. So you can compare this to the iPhone SE. Then you have the iPad Air. And the iPad Air has USB-C, only has 2 speakers, liquid retina display, but it's not 120Hz. So you can compare this to the iPhone 12. But the Pros have 120Hz, Thunderbolt 4, M1 chip, 4 speakers, 5G support. Like, they are generally more kitted out, which is why I don't understand why the iPhone 12 Pros, that's not the case. You know, the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone 12 Pro Max all have the same CPU. Don't professionals require more power? Don't they require more power efficiency? Don't they need higher RAM? They do, by like 1 or 2 gigabytes, but still, give them more. They're paying more. They want the pro device. They clearly want the professional features and the professional specifications. So here's what I'm saying. The A14 should have 2, or the A15, let's say this is for next year, the A15 needs 2 chips. So the A15 and the A15 Omega. The A15, this isn't a leak or anything, this is just like an idea. The A15 could be the standard chip that goes into the iPhone 12, focusing more on power efficiency. It's still a very fast chip, you know, it'll still be one of the fastest out there, but the A15, will focus primarily on keeping battery life. That's what it'll be for power efficiency. The A15 Omega, on the other hand, will be powerful. It'll be a very powerful chip. It will still have the same power saving features, but the battery life will definitely be worse on the 12 Pro Maxes, because I want that to be the case. I would want the phone to be more powerful. Give them 2 cores. Give them 2 more power efficiency cores. Give them 4 more high power cores. I don't understand why they don't do this. Literally give them an M1. If an M1 can go into an iPad, I don't see why it can't go into a phone. You know, and people are going to be like, oh yeah, but Apple, look, come on now, they can't do it. I don't believe that. You know, a lot of the time when people say Apple can't do something, it's because Apple don't want to do it. You need to understand that this company spends billions, trillions of money. They spend so much money, incomprehensible money, on research and development. When Apple do not put something in a device, it is intentional. They do not want it to be good. They want the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 12 Pro to have the same CPU. They want that to be the case. Which is, I don't understand. Why would you not make them different? So here's what I'm saying. The iPhone 12 should be split up into 2 as it is now. You've got the iPhone 12 mini, iPhone 12. So let's take iPhone 13 mini, iPhone 13 should have the A15. iPhone 13 Pro and iPhone 13 Pro Max should have the A15 Omega. So that would be a chip more focused on professional use cases. So it could have special encoders for cameras, it could have more software features, maybe it can have a different camera app, a camera app more focused on manual usage. You know, you can turn on your exposure, you can sort out the ISO, you can do the white balance, you can do all of this stuff you can do on a DSLR camera and on proper handhelds that you could do on a phone. Let's make it more professional. Because right now the only difference is, and USB-C, put Thunderbolt 4 in your iPhone as well. Why not? You know, if you have the ability to, it's in an iPad, put it in a phone. Why not? Basically, my wish list for the iPhone is basically a smaller M1 iPad Pro. So a phone with the M1, stupid gigabytes of RAM, massive storage, an amazing display, 120 Hz, Thunderbolt 4. Scales up, scales down, you know, amazing. That's what I want. That is what I want from a phone. Thank you guys. Smaller iPad please guys. Smaller iPad. The M1, you know, M1 fast chip, all that sort of stuff, as I've said already. Guys, thank you for watching this video. Stay safe, you know, with Rona going around and that, stay safe. So thank you guys. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video. Peace.